Alright guys, so just doing a review for the DABBSSON DBS2300 portable power station. And so they're kind of new to the portable power station game, but don't let that throw you off. This DABBSSON power station, the DBS2300, does have a 2330 watt hour capacity, and it has a 2200 max AC output, so high on the capacity and high on the power output. This one actually is compatible to use with expandable batteries. DABBSSON does sell expandable batteries for this power station that each have, I think, a 3000 watt hour capacity, and so you can connect up to 2 expandable batteries, and that takes this power station to a 8330 watt hour capacity. So that's a lot of power to use. Of course, those expandable batteries are pretty expensive, just like this power station, but that's up to you if you want to upgrade to expandable battery within maybe a year, maybe 2 years. The choice is always there. And so yeah, just taking a look at what's included in the box with the power station. Right down here, you do get a MC4 to XD60 solar charging cable. I believe the power station itself does have a 600 watt max solar recharging speed. So solar recharging is actually worth it if you do have powerful enough solar panels. I do get a XD60 to cigarette lighter socket car charging cable right over here. Car recharging is going to probably be the slowest way to recharge this power station, but the option is there. I'm going to be showing that in this review as well. And also you get a AC charging cable, because the fastest way to recharge this power station is going to be with this AC charging cable. The max recharge speed for the DABBSSON power station is 1800 watts, and you can actually customize the AC recharging speed via the app. And so yeah, 1800 watts for a 2330 watt hour capacity. And so yeah, you're definitely going to want to use that 1800 watts sometimes, maybe not all the time, but yeah, I'm going to be showing that recharge speed in this review as well. And in terms of the paperwork, so you do get the user manual right over here. I think this is the warranty card for the power station as well. Yeah, the 24-month warranty. 24-month warranty, claim your warranty activation. So absolutely activate that warranty once you buy this power station, because it's a pretty high priced one. DIY instructions for non-MC4 connector solar panels. So these are just instructions if your solar panel does not use MC4 connectors, I suppose. And right over here, this is the DABBSSON maintenance book. So yeah, it just tells you how to maintain the power station over time, and some useful tidbits of information in here. And so yeah, as I mentioned before, the unit does have a 2330 watt hour capacity. It does use a semi-solid state lithium iron phosphate battery that are rated to get 4000 plus charge cycles and still maintain 80% or more battery capacity efficiency. So yeah, I mean, this thing is just going all out right out of the gate with DABBSSON right over here. And once again, you are able to expand the battery capacity using DABBSSON's extra batteries. Those are each 3000 watt hours. You're able to expand the battery capacity up to 8330 watt hours. And in terms of the size, the power station is it's small, I would say, actually, because I don't know. I mean, power stations like these, even high capacity ones, they're relatively small in my opinion when you consider what they're able to output. And so it does have a 17 by 10 by 12 inch form factor. However, the weight is more noticeable because this power station does weigh 53 pounds. So size-wise, yeah, I mean, I would consider this to be pretty small. You're going to be able to put it anywhere in your home. You can fit it into nearly any car that you want to be honest. But the weight, 53 pounds, those two large handles at the top, you're going to have to use them to carry the power station around. No questions asked. The weight is going to be something that you're going to notice more than the size. It's just a pretty small power station in my opinion. I personally can't move it around with one hand. When I do turn the power station around in this video, I'm going to have to stop recording and then start recording again. So just a heads up on that. Over here at the front is where you're going to find, quite a few functional components. You have this LED flashlight right over here that has, I think, 3 settings. Just press it once, it turns on the dim mode. This is the high mode. It also has the SOS mode, I believe, right there. And it also shows the wattage output of the flashlight when you do have it on. When I just had it on right there. On its dim mode, I think uses 1 watt. On its high mode, it uses 2 watts. And so that's pretty cool to see. It's a bright flashlight. They did a good job with the flashlight. There's my cat. All right, and so there are two Type A 12-watt ports, a single Type A quick charge port that's able to output 18 watts. You do get a single Type C 100-watt power delivery port, and there are two Type C 30-watt power delivery ports right over here. And so yeah, the max output of this section right over here is 60 watts. So you are able to use the full 30 watts from each of these Type C ports. I would have preferred maybe two Type C 100-watt ports and maybe just get rid of one Type C port, because this is such a powerful power station. But you know what? I'm really happy that they still added a single 100-watt Type C port and two Type C 30-watt ports. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see. And when you want to activate a section on the power station, all you have to do is just press the power button. So right there, the charging port section is activated. And right over here, you get the DC port section. And you know, once again, if you want to activate this, you just got to press the power button, and it does show up on the screen on which section is activated on the power station right over here. And yeah, so you do get a cigarette lighter port, and so the cigarette lighter port is able to output 126 watts right there. You do get two DC 5521 ports right over here that are able to output 50.4 watts each. And surprisingly, you do get a Anderson port that can be used as a output port. I'm not too sure how that's possible. I've personally never seen an Anderson output port on a power station. Usually Anderson ports are used as an input port to recharge the power station via solar recharging. But yeah, you do get a 30 amp Anderson port right over here. And so the Anderson port is able to output 378 watts. You know, it's rated, and so it's rated for 30 amps at 12.6 volts right over there. This port right over here, that's labeled device. I'm not too sure what this is. I think in the manual, let me go ahead and check real quick. And yeah, so in the manual, this is labeled as device control port. I'm still not sure what this is used for. I think DABBSSON might have a device that they release in the future that you can connect into this port and possibly control the power station somehow instead of using the DABBSSON app. Yeah, also, I don't know if I mentioned already, but I'm going to be showing the app compatibility with this power station as well, because DABBSSON does have an app, which is another surprising thing. You know, these type of new brands, you know, DABBSSON and GrowWatt, they release these awesome power stations, and they also release app compatibility with their power stations. And of course, this is the power button. You can just hold it down to turn off the power station if you want to, just like that. And so to turn the power station back on, just got to press the power button, I think, just once, just like that. It does take a few seconds to turn on. And so when it comes to the screen, it's a bright and easy to read screen. You know, off to the left side, it shows the input wattage. Off to the right side, it shows the output wattage. Bluetooth connectivity is right there. And in the middle, you do get the battery capacity remaining. Right over here is the estimated runtime. So with the power station just being on and nothing being powered from it, it's going to last about 5.4 days. And so it does use a bit of power when you do have the power station on just like this. However, I don't think you really have to worry about that, because the power station does automatically shut off when you do have it on and nothing is being powered at all. Taking a look at the top of the power station real quick, as I mentioned before, it does have these two large handles that make the power station easier to hold and move around. And so once again, yeah, it is heavy. You know, I'm just going to try to lift it with one hand right over here. Yeah, it weighs 53 pounds, you guys. So just know that you know, high capacity power stations like these ones are going to weigh quite a bit, especially with this amount of capacity and power output. And let me go ahead and take a look at the right side. All right, you guys, so over here on this side is where you're going to find the input ports to recharge the power station, and also the 5 AC outlets. So yeah, the power station does have a total of 5 3-prong AC outlets. And you know, once again, the unit does have a 2200 watt max AC output. However, that can actually be pushed to 3000 watts using the, I think it's called the P-Boost feature on the DABBSSON power station. And so I'm going to be checking that out in this review as well. And so just taking a look at the input ports right over here, you do get the XT60 input that's going to be used for car recharging and solar recharging. Right over here, these switches are going to be used for AC recharging. You know, you can actually have direct control over the AC recharging speed using these switches. I haven't actually used these yet. I'm gonna show them in this review to see how they work, because I'm not too sure how it works quite yet. But I'm going to test it out and show you guys, because I think when you have it set down right over here for this switch, I think it lets you customize the recharging speed via the DABBSSON app. But when you switch it up like this, I think that automatically just makes the AC recharging speed 1800 watts. And so you don't have control over the AC recharging speed via the app anymore. I'm going to double check on that, but yeah, I'm going to test that out. This is the AC input right over here, and this is the reset button. Right over here are the two internal fans. And when it comes to fan speed and fan noise, the power station is relatively quiet. I do have to say, I'm going to give you guys a chance to listen to the fans when I do have the power station running on a high power load. And over the back of the power station, there is nothing. Yeah, so nothing at the back of the power station, nothing to worry about back here. It just has the DABBSSON logo. And right over here, this is where you get the extra battery ports. And so you can connect a total of 2 extra batteries, as I already mentioned like 2 other times before in this review. And so each of the expandable batteries for the DABBSSON power station are 3,000 watt hours. And so if you choose to just buy 1 extra battery, you're gonna be able to use I think 5,330 watt hours, with the power station and the extra battery combined. And if you choose to go with 2 extra batteries, you're gonna be able to use 8,330 watt hours. If whether you expand either 1 battery or 2 batteries, that's a lot of power. That's a lot of battery capacity. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you guys the actual expandable ports. Yeah, there we go. Those are the ports right over here. To protect the battery from over discharging, please unplug the cable when the unit is fully charged or not in use. All right, just a caution right there. And that's it for the expandable battery explanation. All right, guys, now that I'm done with the look around for the power station and explaining the specifications, let me go and show you the app compatibility real quick. The app on the phone, to see how that works and what you can use the app for. And then after that, let me just jump straight into DC and AC capacity testing to see how much of that 2,330 watt hour capacity you can actually use. All right, guys, so I know I usually just jump straight into a DC and AC capacity testing to see how much of the battery capacity you can actually use with this DABBSSON power station. But first, I just wanted to run through the app compatibility real quick through the DABBSSON app. And then I'm going to do the AC capacity and DC capacity testing. But yeah, connecting to the power station is fairly easy. I think you do just need to make an account on their app. Right over here, you just click on your power station that you have added via the app. And it shows basically what any other power station app is going to show. So you get things like the battery capacity remaining right over here, 62%, and on the screen 62%. Everything is going to match up. Oh, it also shows the internal temperature of the power station. I don't think it shows that on the screen. So yeah, that's one thing missing from the screen on the unit itself. So it's 84 degrees Fahrenheit inside the power station, 131 hours. It doesn't show it in days right now, but it does show it in days on the screen. It shows the output wattage in real time. This is where you can also activate the P-Boost feature that's able to take the AC output from 2200 watts to 3000 watts. And so you can just press on that right there. It just gives you like, a few bits of information on how you should use the P-Boost feature. I think, it mainly works for like heating type of appliances, power tools, kitchen appliances, things like that. P-Boost may not work for electronics with strict voltage requirements, so test them first. Yeah, and that's really about it right there. You can just press confirm and turns on the P-Boost feature. And also, of course, you can remotely turn on and turn off certain sections of the power station, such as the AC outlet section. And right there, you just heard the inverter turn on inside. You can turn on the DC section and also the charging port section. And so for the charging port section, it actually shows the individual wattage output for each of the charging ports. So that's pretty cool to see. And right over here, you can actually control the LED flashlight as well. So I can turn it onto its dim setting, the bright setting, the SOS mode, and you can turn it off, of course. Right over here, it shows the input wattage for the solar and AC recharging, and also via the app, you can see the extra battery capacity when you do have the extra battery connected. Of course, I don't, so therefore it's showing nothing. And so right over here, battery. There's a bit of an explanation. DBS LFP batteries, even though it has 6,500 plus charge cycles, circle life. I think that's a translation error right there. But like all rechargeable batteries are consumable components that become less effective as they age. So just giving you a warning so that if you are within that 5,000 plus charge cycle range, and you're noticing that the battery capacity efficiency isn't as good as it used to be, they just wanted to give that explanation to you. If you do actually get to 5,000 plus charge cycles with this power station, or any power station for that matter, congratulations. That's actually pretty insane. You can activate standby mode. You need to turn on the standby mode switch on the power station. So you actually need to turn that on off to the side, the switch that we saw. Eco mode, you need to turn on eco mode switch on the power station. Optimize battery charging to reduce battery aging. System learns from your daily charging routine, so it can wait to finish charging past 80% until you need to use it. That's pretty cool. Okay. Right over here on the settings button, and so right over here, AC charge speed, you can actually change the AC charge speed in real time while you're recharging the power station. But because I don't have the power station recharging right now, well, actually it's not letting me change the AC recharging speed because I have the switch on the fast mode off to the right of the power station. So let me go ahead and change that to see if it actually lets me change it when I put the switch down. Let me go ahead and just change the switch real quick. All right, there we go. I just put the switch down. I think it should let me change the AC recharge speed then. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. I like how it changed slowly though. That's pretty nice. Okay, and so with that, you can actually change the AC recharge speed in real time all the way from 200 watts to 1800 watts. You may not always want to recharge the power station at 1800 watts simply because it can be pretty hard on the batteries, because 1800 watts is a lot of power. The heat that's generated can be too much in the long term. You can actually turn off or turn on the beeping sound that you've been hearing. Let me just see if I can do it again with the beeping sound. Oh, let me just go like this. Yeah, so you can actually turn that beeping sound off. Let me see if it works via the app though. Turn it off just like that. Let me change the recharge speed back to 1800 watts. And yeah, the beeping sound is gone. And so screen timeout, if you want the screen to stay on basically forever like I do, just press never and it never turns off. I just like having the screen on at all times. I don't care if it uses a bit of power. And so right over here, DC timeout. Let's see here. Timer setting on standby mode only. Okay, AC timeout. So yeah, right over here, you have to actually go to standby mode, I suppose. And so for the DC timeout and AC timeout sections, right over here on the app, I set the switch over to the right side of the power station to standby mode now, from eco mode to standby mode. And so now I'm able to actually change the timeout mode via the app for the power station. So just pressing this question mark right over here, there's a pretty nice explanation. Set how long the AC outlets can remain idle before shutting off automatically. I think that's going to be the same thing for the DC section as well. So if you want the AC outlets to turn off automatically just after 2 hours, you have the option to do that. Or you can just press never. So if you're powering something like a fridge, I suppose you could say, you're definitely not going to want to power off the AC outlets over a certain amount of time. So yeah, I think for most people it would be never. By the same time, if you have nothing being powered from the power station at all, then you're definitely going to want to have this timeout feature on. If you're somebody that simply just forgets to turn off the power station. And so yeah, that's really about it. Device offline notification, firmware, share device, current version, restore factory defaults. That's really about it. A simple to use app, nothing crazy going on over here. It has all the modern features that you would expect a app compatible with the power station to have. And yeah, with that said, let me go ahead and start the DC and AC capacity test, and I will be right back with the capacity efficiency results. Alright, you guys, so I did finish up the DC capacity test for the DABBSSON power station. I powered this load tester via the cigarette lighter port on the power station. And so yeah, it was a pretty long test, I gotta say. It lasted about 16 hours with about a 120 watt load of power being pulled out of the cigarette lighter port. And so yeah, after about 16 hours, fully depleted the power station, and I ended up with 1,791 watt hours, and that gave me about a 76% DC capacity efficiency. So for a DC capacity efficiency, it's good. It's all right. Nothing too excellent, I would say, but it fits into that range that I would expect a high capacity power station like this to have. So yeah, I mean, it's good in my opinion. Let me go ahead and get this power station recharged back up to 100% and run the AC capacity test. I'm probably going to be running my heater on its high setting, my Lasco heater, running at about 1400 watts from 100% to 0% for the power station. Alright guys, so just back with the DABBSSON power station, I depleted the power station all the way down to 0% using my Lasco heater. I had about a 1400 watt load of power running continuously until the DABBSSON power station was fully depleted. And somehow, I ended up with a 1900 watt hour AC capacity, and so that gave me about a 81% AC capacity efficiency for this power station. That's really surprising because usually the case is that the AC capacity efficiency is almost always lower than the DC capacity efficiency, but that's not the case here. I'm not complaining, but yeah, this is pretty awesome to see. And so an 81% capacity efficiency, yeah, that's good. That's good in my opinion. It's within that 80% range. Once again, I know there's some power stations that have like, a 90% AC capacity efficiency range, but this is pretty good. That's a lot of power that you can still use. 1900 watt hours from the AC outlets on this power station. All right guys, so just back with the DABBSSON power station, and so I'm just going to do some AC outlet testing right over here. I do have these two heaters connected to the AC outlets on the power station. I do have the P boost feature off, and so what I'm going to do in this case is that I'm going to power both the heaters on their high setting at the same time with the P boost feature off, and I want to see if the power station automatically shuts off or if it continues running and powering these two heaters, because yeah, the power station should shut off automatically when I have these two heaters on with the P boost feature off, because I think combined they're going to have about a 2800 watt output. But yeah, let me just go ahead and see what happens. So I'm going to turn on this heater to its high setting right over here, and I'm going to turn on this heater with its high setting as well. And so yeah, we should be getting into a very high wattage amount in just a second. Yeah, there we go, at about 2000 watts, 2200 watts right there. Okay, and we're still going. That estimated runtime dropped very quickly as expected. And let me go ahead and set a stopwatch real quick. I'm not too sure how long this is going to run for. This is my first time doing the test in terms of having the P boost feature off. And so yeah, let me just go ahead and just keep this running to see how long it takes for the power station to turn off. If it even does turn off, that is. Alright guys, so back after about 2 minutes, the heaters have been running for 2 minutes. And the power station is still running, and the heaters are still running. Not too sure what's happening. I expected the power station to automatically shut off, but didn't. So I mean, I'm not complaining, but at the same time, I suppose is the P boost feature just on by default, and the app doesn't really matter. Let me go ahead and see what happens when I turn the P boost feature on via the app. Alright guys, so just back with the DABBSSON power station, and so I do have the P boost feature on the AC outlet section. I got the heaters once again right over here. I'm just going to see what happens to see if there's any difference in performance when it comes to the power station powering these two heaters. And yeah, once again, let me turn this heater to its high setting, and this heater is on its high setting as well. And let's see what happens. Any difference in wattage output via the screen? It does not look like it. We're still at about 2252 watts. And once again, let me go ahead and set another timer, reset that, and let me go ahead and just run this for about 3 minutes now, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so back after about 3 minutes with the DABBSSON power station, and yeah, still powering the two heaters. Once again, I do have the P boost feature on for this test, and nothing changed. The heaters are still running how they're supposed to, and the power station is still on, just chugging along. But of course, the runtime, we're at about 24 minutes of runtime with running these two heaters simultaneously. No surprises right there. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the fan noise for the power station. It's manageable. The fan noise can get loud at times. Of course, I mean, considering that I'm pulling about 2,200 watts, you can hear it, of course, but it's not too loud. Like, it's not gonna get on your nerves too much, provided that you don't have it like right next to your ear. But yeah, it's a decent amount of noise. It's more on the quiet side in my opinion. Alright guys, so just over here testing out the AC recharging for the DABBSSON power station. I'm using the included AC recharging cable, of course. And so yeah, via the app, because I have the switch turned down on the off to the side of the power station, I'm able to customize the AC recharging speed via the app. And so right now I do have it set to the 200 watt recharge speed. It's reading about 268 watts. So, you know, it's not going to be exactly the same wattage output that it says via the app, but it comes close. And let me go ahead and just set it to 1800 watts and just press confirm just like that. And it's going to change it in just a second. From 266 watts, it's going to jump in just a second. And yeah, just like that, we're at about 1600 watts. It was 1700 watts, but because I was running 2 heaters just now, I think, like, you know, there's too much heat inside the power station, so it's just trying to keep cool. But yeah, 1600 watts is still a lot of power, even though I do have it set to 1800 watts. That's a fast recharge speed, and right over here you can see a estimated recharge time, which is about 0.8 hours. I think via the app you can see it's 51 minutes. And so yeah, AC recharging is really good. This is one of the fastest recharge speeds I've seen with a power station. And of course it makes sense for a high capacity power station like this. And also let me show you guys the pass-through charging testing as well. So you are able to power appliances and recharge the power station at the same time. Let me just go ahead and turn on this heater to its high setting. Yeah, right over here. And I don't think the AC recharge speed is going to slow down. I think it's going to maintain the same 1600 watts, while the heater uses up about 1400 watts. Oh, the AC recharge rate is actually increasing just a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. And yeah, so you are able to power appliances and recharge the power station at the same time. No complaints right there. And let me go ahead and show you the UPS feature. Because actually what's happening is that the heater is not being powered from the power station itself. It's actually being powered from this power strip right over here. Because I have the AC charging cable connected right now. And so basically the heater is being powered from the power strip. And when I unplug the AC charging cable, the heater will automatically go from being powered from the power strip to being powered from the power station. And so let me just go and see how that power switch happens and how quickly it happens, or if it happens at all. And let me go ahead and pull out the AC charging cable in 3, 2, 1. There we go. It worked. All right. That's a pretty fast switchover. I'm actually kind of impressed. In my previous testing, like, the switchover happened, but it didn't happen that quickly. But it did right here. So that's pretty cool to see. All right. Yeah. All right, you guys. So I do have my LG microwave right over here. I think it's rated for 1000 watts. And so I'm just going to be powering it from the DABBSSON power station. I do have my pasta right over here that I made yesterday. Just going to place that inside the microwave and see if the DABBSSON power station is actually able to power the microwave. And I should be able to. There should be no surprises in this case. I'm like almost 100% certain that the DABBSSON power station will be able to power the microwave. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let me go and press start right there. And I'm just going to run it for the minute that I just set it to. And it looks like we're pulling about 1300 watts, 1600 watts. Oh wow, that was a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. But okay, it's still good. I mean, we're still good. You know, the power station has a 2200 watt max output, so it's handling it. There we go. All right, we're at about 35 seconds. Okay, still chugging along really well. Okay. All right. And there we go. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this power station can run a microwave. No doubt about that now. Alright, you guys, so just filming this at a completely different time. And so, because I just have everything moved around right now. Yeah, sorry about the mess. But yeah, I forgot to do the charging port testing. And in this case, I do have 4 devices charging at the same time. I have my Galaxy Note 9 fast charging from the Type A quick charge port right over here. As you can see, that is fast charging. I have my Accessories power bank charging at 100 watts from the Type C 100 watt power delivery port. And also, I have my Ugreen power bank and the Spaces power bank charging at 30 watts each. Right over here, 20 volts, 1.5 amps. So this is charging at 30 watts right here. and I got the U green power bank connected to this Type-C watt meter that is also charging at 30 watts. And so I can confirm that you're able to use all the ports at their max power at the same time. It doesn't matter how many devices you're charging at the same time. All the charging ports are able to perform optimally, no matter how many devices you're charging. So that's pretty cool to see. At this time, I do have a 170 watt output going on. And yeah, that is the charging port testing for the DABBSSON power station. Really nice. Alright guys, so just testing out the car recharging for the DABBSSON power station real quick. I am using the cigarette lighter port from this Bluity AC60 power station right over here because I just didn't feel like going out to my car. But yeah, anyways, this is what you can expect for the car recharging. It's going to recharge the power station at about 110 watts, probably the slowest way that you can recharge the power station, but it's there if you need it. You know, if you're driving and you want the power station to charge up just a bit, it's an option. If you're on a road trip, you know, the car recharging can come in use. You know, it can actually fill up quite a bit. All right, guys, so that is my review for the DABBSSON DBS2300 portable power station. And so just my final thoughts. You know, DABBSSON is coming strong right out of the gate. With this DBS2300 model. It has a high capacity 2,330 watt hours, a high output 2,200 watts from the AC outlets, you know, expandable battery capabilities. You know, you can add either 1 or 2 batteries. You can upgrade the battery from 2,330 watt hours all the way to 8,333 watt hours. And that's a lot of battery capacity to use. You know, the semi-solid state lithium iron phosphate battery is able to get 4,000 plus charge cycles and still maintain 80% or more battery capacity efficiency. You know, this is relatively the same as other high capacity power stations on the market from other brands, but for DABBSSON, for this to be their first product that they're releasing, it just gives you another option. And you know, competition in any market is almost always a good thing. Because, you know, it causes other brands to innovate and also lower their prices, you know, and this is how power stations are lowering their prices over time. Because the case is that it was a dollar per watt hour when it comes to power station prices. We're nowhere near that anymore. This power station has a 2,330 watt hour capacity. It's not $2,000. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to say the price because the price might fluctuate in the future. But yeah, I will have a link to this power station down in the description below. But yeah, I can tell you now, it's not a $2,000 power station. A couple of years ago, this may have been a $2,000 power station, but not anymore. That wouldn't be the case. And if it was $2,000, I would not be recommending this power station. But as it stands, it's a decent price for what it is, for what it offers. Of course, gas generators are going to be lower priced with the same wattage output capabilities, but of course with gas generators you do have to maintain them, and also they have emissions. They have CO2 emissions, so you can't use them indoors, so that's another thing to think about. And so yeah, I think DABBSSON did a great job with this power station. The only negative thing I could find, in my opinion, is the weight. Yeah, so this power station, it weighs 53 pounds, and you definitely feel those 53 pounds when it comes to the weight. You know, I like the app compatibility. And so yeah, down in the description below, I will have a link to this power station, and I will also have a link to the review article for this power station as well, in case you want to read a review article. And I will see you all on the next video. All right, goodbye.